A virus so lethal it can turn the world into a walking nightmare. No movies, no warnings, just chaos. Imagine a pathogen that doesn't just infect you, but rewires your brain, hijacks your senses, strips away your humanity. It starts with a whisper of discomfort under your skin, a strange flicker of confusion in your mind. Then, the hunger, the insatiable hunger that music, water, or warmth can't satisfy. You are no longer yourself. The zombie apocalypse you feared? It's rooted deeply in real science.
Subscribe for more.
Subscribe to Think What If for more stories that push your imagination to the edge. Today, we peel back the curtain on actual viruses, parasites, and lab research that could spark a horrific outbreak.
Virus spread has reached critical levels, prompting a nationwide health alert. We are tracking the movement closely on the updated map.
Could something hidden in the depths of nature or lurking within secret lab experiments turn this nightmare into reality? It starts with the microscopic adversaries hiding in the shadows. Viruses like rabies are already known for their mind-altering effects, driving their hosts into primal, violent states. But what if the virus evolved? What if it gained new traits, spread faster, and became more adaptive? It would spread unseen, a silent storm, infecting whole cities before governments even realize the threat. You hear whispers of secret experiments, of scientists tinkering with deadly pathogens. Some say labs have turned deadly viruses into bioweapons, ready to be unleashed. Others warn of parasites that don't just infect, but control. Toxoplasma gondii, for example, can manipulate animal behavior, making mice lose their fear of predators. What if such parasites found a way to affect humans? What if they could be programmed to cause violence, confusion, or submission? How quickly would society collapse when your neighbor, your friend, suddenly loses all sense of self? The terrifying part is how close we might be to crossing the point of no return. Recent research reveals that certain viruses are adapting at an alarming rate. They mutate rapidly, making vaccines or cures nearly impossible. Researchers warn that the borders of what we consider safe are vanishing. Within labs, scientists experiment with pathogens that could, in theory, be released accidentally or intentionally. Gain-of-function research aims to understand deadly viruses. But what if that research spiraled out of control? What would happen if scientists created a supervirus that no known medicine could stop? Would it evolve beyond our control in time? Now, think about the environment. Climate change and deforestation are creating perfect conditions for new viruses to flourish. As habitats shrink, animals and humans come into closer contact. Viruses that once stayed hidden in bats, rodents, insects now have a direct path to us. These pathogens are not just infectious, they are adaptive, evolving faster than we can track. Some could already be on the brink of jumping species, waiting for the right moment to ignite chaos. In this silent race against nature, one question echoes loudest. How far would you go to survive? Would you barricade yourself in a fortress, rely on technology, or abandon everything to escape? Imagine the sound of distant chaos cries, sirens, the pounding of footsteps blurring into a symphony of survival. The air thickens with the smell of burning, decay, and fear. Every moment could be your last, every step a desperate gamble. How do you fight an enemy you can't even see? How do you resist a mind turned against you? But beneath this terror, there's a paradox. Science offers hope. Researchers work tirelessly to predict, prepare, and prevent these outbreaks. Vaccines are improved, early warning systems enhanced. But what if the next outbreak surpasses even their worst fears? What if this nightmare is not just a story, but a future mapped out in secret? Would society be swift enough to halt the virus before it spreads beyond control? Or would humanity face a new dawn in a world where the line between human and monster blurs? And then comes the twist. What if the scariest part isn't the virus itself? What if it's us? Our greed, our experiments, our hubris that opens Pandora's box. Every discovery that promises progress also carries the seeds of destruction. When we poke the sleeping giants of nature, how many times do we forget that the monsters we create might not be confined to labs or movies? They could be hiding in the shadows of our own making. And as we stand on the brink of the unknown, one thing remains certain. Look around. The apocalypse is not just something that happens to others. It's a whisper in the dark we all carry within us. How far would you go to survive? How much do your senses need to tell you before you realize that the real nightmare begins with the question, what happens when the virus you never saw coming finally wakes up? In that moment, the world as we know it could burn away to ash. Every breath could be your last. Every face a stranger with a hidden virus lurking beneath their skin. The infection isn't just spreading, it's waiting for you, for everyone. And when the dust settles, the question remains, what kind of world will rise from the ashes? Will it be a new beginning or the final chapter of humanity's story? Subscribe to Think What If for more worlds you should never forget.